So this is the video for disassembly and maintenance on the Garda. The tools that you're going to need are two 18mm sockets and a 12mm half-inch drive long hex key, a 2mm hex key for the grub screws, and you will need also a torque wrench, as well as you'll probably want to use a basic driver, half-inch drive. Please note that you cannot change this from Shimano to Kempe. You can only remove it and then replace the bearings or do some maintenance, add some grease. Also, please note that every time that you open this hub, you will need to replace the bearings, so make sure you have those ready before you start. All right, so the first thing we need is to remove the grub screws using the 2mm. Okay, and then we're going to flip it over and we'll remove the grub screw from this side. Okay, now we're going to try and bash that through. And out it comes. Now what you can do, once this has come out, you can put this in the end and pop out this bearing here. We're going to wedge it in there so it's against the inner race. And this is one reason why we always recommend to replace all the bearings. Pop that out and the rest will come out freely. Now you can use the 12mm and that will thread on there, and you can use this tool to remove it, and you should use the torque wrench to replace it after it's all being cleaned. Okay, once that's done, you can start to reassemble it. There is a short and a long side. Make sure that the short side goes in with the free body. Replace your bearing, okay, and you're going to be tapping this into this hole here. You're going to need the 18mm here, and you're also going to need an 18mm on the underside to protect it. And I like to use a piece of wood. Okay, make sure that the outer race lines up perfectly and it should be just fine. Always keep checking it to make sure it goes in straight. And the sound, the tone will change when it has been driven home. So now when we're ready, we'll flip it over and we will place the other new bearing and the 18mm here. So we're going to replace this cone here, and first we're going to get the seal placed. Make sure that we have the correct side on the inside, and sometimes it's a little bit tight, so I like to use a 13 or a 14. Make sure that's nice and snug, and just a gentle tap to put that home. Okay, now you use a little hex key to push the seal into place. Then on this side, I can easily replace this cone here. Same deal. If it needs a little bit of help, you can use the 14 to help it in a little bit. Just gentle taps. Once it's in, make sure again that it spins freely and replace your grub screws.